What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's
deal with generations when the whole world was preparing to celebrate the coming of the new millennium. The computer scientists were in full swing to stir up fear about the problem 2000, which will certainly paralyze the work of all computers in the world. The company Sanyon was actively engaged in the development of a new flagship. The age of Musso was coming to an end. It is clear that the new flagship had to have a frame construction, all-wheel drive with reduction gear and Mercedes-Benz aggregates. But the company decided to refrain from cooperation with Ken Greenlee as the main designer. Children of this Britain were distinguished by originality, but were too ambiguous. In general, the development of the body of the new flagship model with the factory code Y200 was entrusted to Italdesign Atelier Just in case, and at the end of 2001 there was a car with a pretentious name Rexton. Pretentious because Rexton is a combined Latin rex, i.e. king, and ton, i.e. sound, voice. Soon the export of the model to Europe began. It is noteworthy that in some countries, for example, in France, the SUV was initially sold under the brand name Daewoo, and only in 2003 it again and finally acquired the name Sanyon. Then, in 2003, the SUV appeared in Russia and immediately made a very favorable impression. You bet, a set of excellent engines with Mercedes roots, 3 variants of boxes, 5-speed mechanics of the American company Tremec, 4-speed automatic of the Australian company BTR, or Mercedes 5-speed 5G Tronic, radiator trim in the style of "I want to look like Mercedes," and the maximum level of comfort put in those times to SUVs of executive class. In any case, it was the first generation of Rexton. And here further there are differences. In 2006, the Rexton with the factory code Y250 appeared. The head optics remained 2-story, but the grille became even more similar to the Mercedes grille. The main thing, the car received a number of technological innovations, such as turbochargers with variable geometry and catalytic filters, tire pressure monitoring system and collision warning system. Someone considers Y250 as just a facelift, and someone considers it as a separate generation, and these are the cars that have entered the assembly line of Vladivostok assembly plant. The same uncertainty affected the next version of the Rexton with the factory code Y290, which appeared in 2012. It is noteworthy that the world premiere of the novelty was held in Busan, Korea, but the European premiere at the Moscow Motor Show in 2012. This fact is evidence of how much importance the brand attached to the Russian market. The main technical update was the appearance of turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine EXDI 200 active turbo diesel, which meets Euro -5 standards with the prospect of obtaining -6 Euro certificate. Return of the King in 2018, the next new Rexton premiered, but the SUV never reached Russia due to financial problems. The brand left our market. The SUV with the factory code Y400 is attributed to the 2nd or 4th generation. However, here radical changes can be seen, as they are called, with the naked eye. Everything has changed: lighting equipment, design of the front part, plastic of sides and outlines of side glazing. The basis of the design was fundamentally redesigned frame platform, and the set of power units was reduced to 225 horsepower petrol turbo engine EXGDI 200T with a volume of 2.0 litre and 2.2 litre turbo diesel EXDI 220. They could be paired with 7G Tronic or Aisin 86 automatic transmissions. Completion of works took place in conditions of serious financial difficulties and transfer of the controlling interest to the Indian concern Mahindra Amp Mahindra. Needless to say, that almost in parallel with the beginning of Rexton sales under the Sanyon brand, an absolute twin named Mahindra Altura's G4 appeared on the market. Already in 2020, almost simultaneously with the transition of the brand to the Kilogram Group, the Rexton's exterior has again undergone major changes. Together with the factory code Y450 SUV within the current trends received a massive octagonal grille with chrome trim and 3D elements. New headlights with more angular outlines and 4 LED spotlights, as well as a number of internal changes. This is the form in which the return of the king to Russia took place. True, and in this case, the Russian specification of the model differs from the global, at least for now. So, in Russia there will be neither rear-wheel drive variants nor versions with diesel engines and boxes 7G, tronic, only hardcore. Only 225 horsepower turbo engines, 6-speed hydro-mechanical boxes Aisin AT6 and transfer boxes Borg-Warner with forced connected front axle. Maybe it is for the best, because 6-speed automatics Aisin and part-time systems of Borg-Warner company are considered to be one of the most reliable, and KGM brand is going to sell reliability to Russian customers. And nothing unexpected in the interior of Rexton. You will find everything you expect from a modern midsize SUV segment SUV, belonging to a brand that does not pretend to premium status. There are power front seats with memory and 10-way adjustments for the driver and 6 for the passenger, heated and ventilated seats and heated rear seats. Natural perforated leather in the top configuration and very high-quality eco-leather in the lower configuration. 2 displays with a diagonal of 12.3 inches and tablet proportions, the left one serving as a digital dashboard and the right one serving the media system with CarPlay and Android Auto support. Clear traditional ergonomics of the main controls with a steering wheel covered with clingy Napa leather, classic selector automatic box and rotor controller control of the all-wheel drive system. By the way, transfer boxes of Borg-Warner part-time type allow to connect and disconnect the front axle at speeds up to 80 km per hour, and you don't need more. If you need this mode, it means that road conditions are not conducive to moving at high speed. And to switch on the reduction gear, you still have to stop and put the automatic in neutral. There are also electronic aids, but they're set I would estimate at present times as very average. In the top configuration, the driver has at his disposal the systems of warning about vehicles moving in the transverse direction behind and warning about leaving the lane and control of blind spots. Well, tire pressure monitoring systems, hill start and downhill assistance, as well as auto hold are equipped with both available configurations. Cruise control as usual, not adaptive. But there is not a lot of space in a saloon, but very much. It concerns in the space for legs of passengers of the second row and capacity of a trunk, capacity of which makes impressive 1051 liters. Well, if to fold down rear seats, it turns out a flat area which quite allows to place 2 adult people for a night stay or to transport a road bicycle and without removing a front wheel from it. Competitors from the Middle Kingdom. As for the market prospects of KGM Rexton and its competitive situation, it seems to be very difficult. On the one hand, large and comfortable frame SUVs are still very much respected in our country, and a sufficient number of their fans are even among the inhabitants of metropolitan areas. Let's leave alone those who today are ready to buy Vagnus and Range Rovers at crazy prices, but there are enough of those who are ready to stay on the previous steps of prestige. As a starting point, let's fix the recommended prices for Rexton: 6.79 million for Dream and 7.18 for the top-end Icon. Naturally, Rexton will have to compete with the same Haval H9, which costs from 4.6 to 5.4 million rubles and has richer equipment. Another competitor, very close in all parameters, from mass-dimensional characteristics to engine power, is the Odin Paladin, which in all-wheel drive configuration costs from 4.25 to 4.5 million, and in fact, it is a Nissan. Another neighbor on mass-size characteristics is a Chinese SUV Tank 400, costs 5.8 to 6.2 million rubles, and this is despite the fact that the Tank brand is positioned as a premium one. Plus, 400th is equipped with a more powerful engine, 9-speed automatic and all-wheel drive system of torque-on-demand type. And its off-road potential is significantly higher, primarily due to the presence of interwheel locks. Even 3 out of 4 possible configurations of more civilized and luxurious Tank 500 with its 299 horses under the hood are either cheaper or only slightly more expensive than Rexton, from 6.8 to 7.65 million rubles. Only Black Trail configuration equipped with 354 horsepower engine is more expensive, for which they ask 8.25 million rubles. Competitors from Korea and Japan, but at the presentation KGM management put forward the thesis that the main competitors of their products on our market will not be Chinese, but models of Korean and Japanese brands corresponding to their class, which are imported to Russia as parallel imports. What is the situation here? Perhaps the most serious competitor here is Kia Mojave. In this case, the price of Rexton looks quite competitive. Sellers asked from 7.65 to 8.35 million rubles for the Indian. Naturally, there will be no serious guarantee for several years in this case. However, such advantages as a magnificent 3-liter diesel engine with capacity of 249 h.p., 8-speed automatic, good dynamics and excellent equipment, including almost full set of assistance and adaptive cruise control, will remain with Mojave. Fans of the Japanese car industry will clearly pay attention to the Toyota Fortuner, which grey importers sell at a price of 6.8-8 million rubles. These cars, of course, received certain updates compared to those that we tested in 2018, but at the price they are quite comparable to the Rexton. And here is the newest bearer of such a cherished name as the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. The price of a Pradic with a 2.4-liter engine with 279 horsepower is considerably more expensive. Even for versions with 163 horsepower gasoline engine, sellers ask not less than 10 million, and the price of Pradics with a 2.4-liter engine with a capacity of 279 horsepower reaches 14 million. However, so far there is an opportunity to save money and instead of the last generation J250 to look for a car of 150th series without mileage. There are few of them on the market, but they are available and they are sold for about the same price as Rexton, that is for 7.2-7.3 million. But, assessing the prospects of Rexton competition with Toyota SUVs, one should always keep in mind that Toyota in Russia is more than a brand, it is a kind of religion. However, judging by the number of those who moved from Cruisaks and Pradics to tanks and Lezians, many of its adherents are not so strong in faith as it seemed a few years ago. In a word, life will show. In any case, KGM has the promised reliability and 5 years of honest warranty as an asset and a high price as a liability, which is unlikely to be seriously reduced even by the expected turnkey assembly out of Toyota. In conclusion, the KGM Rexton stands out as a remarkable vehicle that combines power, luxury, and advanced technology. With its spacious interior, impressive off-road capabilities, and a host of modern features, it truly caters to both adventure seekers and families alike. Whether you're navigating city streets or tackling rugged terrain, the Rexton delivers a driving experience that is both comfortable and exhilarating. Thank you for joining us in this review, and we hope it has provided you with valuable insights into what makes the KGM Rexton a worthy contender in the SUV market.